Yes, I want to greet you. I want to greet everyone that is watching this channel. This is the Asa Mike Archives, a channel where you find a lot of educational content, a channel where you find a lot of concepts being explained, more so those that offer history and economics in secondary schools in Uganda. So you'll find a lot of content on this channel. Please continue subscribing, continue viewing, and continue liking this YouTube channel. Right now, we are going to look at another issue as far as the French Revolution is concerned. We are going to look at the character of the King of France by 1789. That is King Louis XVI. How the character of King Louis XVI caused the 1789 French Revolution. That's what we are going to look at. Normally, there are questions that come in A-level papers, most especially paper 3, asking to what extent was the character of King Louis XVI responsible for the outbreak of the 1789 French Revolution? How are such questions answered? You have to analyze the character of King Louis. You have to give an introduction about the character of King Louis. First of all, King Louis descended on the throne in France in 1774 at the age of 20 years. And by 1789, by the time the French masses took up firearms to liberate their country, to liberate the French society, King Louis was the king in France. So how did the character of that king cause the French Revolution? Number one, King Louis took up leadership at the age of 20 years in 1774. By that time, he was extremely young, inexperienced, and he couldn't handle state affairs. So that lack of experience made King Louis unable to solve the French problems. Because by that time, France was experiencing an economic crisis, France was experiencing challenges rising from the winter season that was there in 1788. Famine was the song of the day, unemployment was the order of the day, and the king could not solve all those challenges because he lacked experience. More to that, King Louis married Marie Antoinette, a princess from Austria. Remember, Austria was a traditional and historical enemy to France. So most of the French people hated Marie Antoinette. Actually, they always referred to her as the Austrian woman. That kind of arrangement made the French masses to revolt. Why? Because they considered Austria a traditional and historical enemy, and yet their queen was coming from Austria. Still to that, it was King Louis himself that got involved in the American War of Independence, where France lost a lot of resources, put in a lot of money, which also contributed to the economic crisis in France. The French treasury was made empty simply because of the American War of Independence. Still to that, it was King Louis himself that dismissed the financial ministers, the financial reformists, Neck and Tagot. These are people that he had appointed to come up with possible solutions to see that they can solve the financial crisis in France. However, when they came up with the reforms that were against the clergy and the nobles, King Louis decided to dismiss them with advice from the wife, the nobles, and the clergy. That kind of arrangement made the French masses to lose hope in their dear king. They hence took up arms, they hence staged a revolution in 1789. Still to that, the king himself, together with his nobles, they were extravagant. They were extravagant. They would overspend public money on unnecessary parties. That kind of arrangement made the French economy to, to run into a crisis, which of course annoyed the French masses, most especially the middle class and, and the peasants. They hence started revolting in 1789. Still, it was the king himself that summoned the Estates General meeting. On summoning that meeting, he intended to find possible solutions to address the economic crisis in France. To the surprise of the masses, most especially the middle class and the peasants, the king called for a meeting without a clear agenda. He only emphasized minor issues like the voting and seating arrangement, the ancient seating arrangement. He neglected the key issues. He neglected the grievances from the middle class and the peasants, and he concentrated on non-issues. That kind of arrangement made the French masses to there and then kick off with a revolution. Thank you so much for this. There are so many other factors that I will be explaining in our coming videos. I want to thank you so much. I want to wish you a very, very good day. In my next video, I'll be talking about the class divisions, the social class divisions in France, and how those class divisions contributed to the outbreak of the 1789 French